So in today's topic, we will try to understand how to install the Git in both the Windows machines and as well as the Linux boxes. Okay. I think we already started the Windows installation, right? And I hope that we completed that Windows installation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
Right.
had already installed Git and you were about to explain how to create a GitHub account creation.
The GitHub account creation, right? Okay. Um, okay. Let me share my screen. It's very simple, guys. Just go to the GitHub account. The GitHub account you have to uh, create either with the Google account or you can create it on your own. Okay. So already I have a GitHub account here. And as I told you yesterday that there will be two particular repositories, right? There will be two types of repositories. There will be two types of repositories. One is the public repository. And the other one here is the private repository. Okay, so mainly we will see two different types of repositories when you created a or while you are creating the GitHub account. One will be the public repository and other will be the private repository here. Okay, I will explain you what is a public repository and what is a private repository. Okay, but let's see how we will create the repository. So click on the new here, provide the name here. A name can be anything, okay? You just define some name here, okay? As of now, I'm just going to provide the name here like my repo 9. Okay, I created a repository with a name called my repo 9. And now you see, choose the visibility. Choose the visibility. Here, the visibility of your repository, either it can be the public or it can be the private. So obviously we will go with the public repository. And once you have the public repository, now click on create a repository. Okay. So I'm selecting the create repository. So a repository will be created. A repository will be created. Now the question here is, why we need the repository in the GitHub? Why? Because we are working with the Git client, right? So whatever the work I am doing, that will be available in the Git client. And what is the necessity of keeping the or pushing the code to the repository which is available in the GitHub? Why it is? Okay, let's see this. Anyone can tell me why? Any one of you?
Sir, again, please repeat the question, sir. I didn't hear properly.
We didn't hear properly.
Yes, sir.
We have all our work in the Git client software. But
Yeah.
why we need the repository in the GitHub?
get the code.
Developer will push the code to his repository.
The developer will.
Push the code to his repository from VS Code.
Why? Why he has to push the code to the repository?
To develop, right? I mean,
Okay, let's see here a simple diagrammatic representation so that you will understand what is the workflow of this. Assume that there is some developer here. Okay, so here is a developer. And he is a developer one. Okay, and he is working in some region. Okay, for example, he is working in Ohio. And there is some other developer who is working in Mumbai region. Now this developer one is working, both of these developers are working on the same project. But this developer one is working on a particular module, and this developer two is working on a particular module. Now, where he is working? He is working. Okay. He is working in his own Git client software. This is what? Git client software. And the same thing was doing by the developer 2 also. And we have the developer 2. So the developer 1 code, okay, the developer 1 code will be pushing into the, will be working on that particular Git client software. Now this is in his own computer, right? And this person only can see what the code is and what he's developing and how he is developing. That's it. Will the developer 2 will view the code of developer 1? No. And the same way, the developer 1 cannot view the code of the developer 2 here. So these people will push the code. These people will push the code these people will push the code to the GitHub repository here. What is that one? GitHub repo. GitHub. the developers, whatever the code they are having in their local machine, okay, they will be sending the whole code to the GitHub. Okay. So this is what we can call it as a Git client software. This is called as a Git client software, and this is also be called as a Git client software. Git client software means the person who is working on his own environment, which is supported by the Git, is known as a Git client software. And GitHub means, okay, everybody can view your code. Okay, let's understand what is the source. Okay, what is a repository here? Okay, so GitHub repository or source code management repository, whatever it may be, the purpose of this one is we can do the code integration here. So the developer code will be integrated here, and the developer 2 code also will be integrated here. Not only that one, as we know, there are two types of repositories. So one is a public repository and the other one is a private repository. Okay, now why? Okay, so what is the point is, what the point here is, because of this, we can do monitoring on the code. We can do monitoring on the code. Okay, you can have the access to monitor. Monitor means what? Who modified the code? When the code mod was modified? What is the reason of the code modification? And on what basis? All these things will be considered here. So monitoring the access means who is monitoring who, when, why, what. Okay, you understand now? So yesterday we had seen how to set up the Git client software, and today we are going to work with the GitHub repository also. I mean, how to create the GitHub repository. And here you can see this is what the pushing the code. How the code will be go to the GitHub repository. When the developer pushes the code, then only the code will be in the GitHub repository. Till that time, it will not be in the GitHub repository. Okay. So guys, shall we see how to create the repository here? Okay. Now.
For pushing it, need to test it, right? No?
No. Furtherly, you can go with the testing part, right? But for somewhere the code has to be available, right? That's the point where we are keeping the code in the GitHub. Okay.
Once it will be reached to GitHub, after then only it will be.
Then we will be, I mean, then the operation teams will come into the picture. Till that time we want. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now see here, this is what your repository. And this is what my public repository. Okay, so whatever the code I want, okay, I can push the code here. I can push the code here successfully. Now let's understand how to create the, okay, or what are the commands that we should know. Okay, what are the commands that we should know on how to work with the Git bash? So I'm going to show you how to set up the Git in my Linux box, and I'm taking the AWS account here.
Sir, for Git client software, we can use Mobextem also, no?
With the Git client software.
Instead of Git bash, we can use Mobextem.
No, MobaX is just, you're talking about the MobaX, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
MobaX is just a tool, it's just an SSH, which will be helping you in connecting with your remote servers. That's it. Okay. Just wait 1 or 2 minutes. You okay? Please hold your breath for 2 minutes. Okay, definitely you will get the clarity on this one. Okay, let me. Yeah, I'm going to create an Amazon Linux here. Why not Ubuntu? Ubuntu itself contains the Git version. It's already have an installed package of the Git in your Ubuntu machines. But to showcase you from the scratch, I'm just using the Amazon Linux here. Amazon Linux. Instance type here is a T2 micro. And I'm taking the key pair here, something. Okay, like Git. And then I'm choosing the PEM file here. See, remember one thing, Putty or MobaX or SSH. These are helpful in connecting with your remote servers. Don't get confused. Okay, yeah. Now, allow all the security rules. I'm not going with the network settings here. Now, storage is 8 GB, that is fine. And I'm launching the instance. Now the instance, okay, now the instance was ready. Now connect with our instance here. Click on Git. Take the public IP. Now take the MobaX, okay? Go to the session, SSH. The users here is, okay, this is Amazon Linux, right? So go with the username like ec2-user and advanced SSH. Now click on OK. Now click on accept. Now clear the screen. Should I assume? Now just update your instance. Okay, once it was updated, okay, now I will check the Git version here, whether Git version is available or not by default. Git ---- version. Okay, now it is showing you that the command Git is not recognizable. It is showing command is not found. Okay, so yum, it's time for me to install the Git. Okay, yum install git -1. Now we are installing the Git in my Linux box. Okay, now the Git was installed here successfully. Once the Git was installed successfully, now check the Git version here. Git space ---- version. Now you can see the version of the Git. So one more time, I'm telling you guys. Here, I told you about the repositories, right? Two types of repositories. One is the public repository and the other one is the private repository. As of now, I want to work in a particular workspace. Okay, so I'm just creating workspace. This is not a repository. In the Git client, I'm just creating a workspace. Workspace is nothing but a directory, okay? mkdir, my project. I created a project here. Now you just go inside the project, cd, my project. Now just try to identify whether this is a Git project or not. Or it is a normal directory. Okay, so you just type ls space -al. Okay, now it is showing you there is no Git related information here. If you didn't find any Git related information, okay, Git related information means nothing but a .git. Okay, nothing but a .git. You will get it like this. Okay, you will get it somewhere, something like this. Or else I will show here. See, if it is a Git project, then you will see some Git related information here. But as of now, this is not a Git project. This is just a folder. That's it. Okay, then how I should make this project as a Git project? Very simple, guys. For that, we need to remember one command here called as git init. Whenever you say git init, enter. Now you will see the message here like initialized empty Git repository. Okay, sir, can we see that one? Yes, ls. This is a hidden folder. So how to view the hidden folder in the Linux box? ls space -al. Now you can see the .git here. But previously you didn't see that got dit, right? Now only you are seeing the .git, which means now this project will be a Git project. So you can work with this within this particular project or within this particular directory. So this is what this working directory is called as a Git client. What is that one? Git client. Git client means the software that was installed and the repository that is a Git repository. There you can call it as a, we can call it as a Git client software here. Git client software here. Okay. Private repository and public repositories will come under the GitHub only, not in the Git client software. Public repository means what? Everybody can access. Private repository means we will choose who can access. That is what the difference between the public repository and the private repository. Okay, what is a public repository? Public repository means everybody, okay, everyone will access the code. Now, when I commit to the private repository, okay, we will choose who can access that. We will choose who can access that. I hope you understand very clearly what is a public repository and as well as the private repository. You can ask me one question here. Sir, okay, public repository means everybody will have the access. Okay, maybe they will get the choice like to modify the things here. But when coming to the private repository, you are telling that we will be choosing someone who can modify, who can access this code. Will they having the option to modify the whom we have chosen in the private for the private repository? Yes, they can. Okay, they can. Okay, so this is what majorly the major difference between the public repository and the private repository. So the developer who developed the code who is staying in the Ohio region, okay, he can push the code into the central repository. And the code which was developed by the developer in the Mumbai region, he can also push the code to the central repository. So other all team members who are a part of this project, everybody can see what this code, okay, how this code, okay, what they developed. Okay, how many updates happened, okay, how many times they modified the code and committed the code, everything we people will watch it here, we people will understand from this particular part. Okay, this is what exactly the simple way of understanding the Git client and GitHub here. Okay, now clear the screen. Right. Now, I just want to tell you how, okay, what commands. Git always consists of some set of commands. Okay, so what are those commands that are needed, okay, to work with the code in the developer point of view? See, guys, I'm telling you very clearly as per the development point of view. As per the development point of view. So, what commands are needed? So, we should know about how to work with the Git bash. How to work with the Git bash. Okay, I will take a notepad. I will explain you each and every command. And I will explain you what is a Git bash also here. Okay, what is a Git bash also. Git bash, okay, Git bash is a Git client software. What is that one? Git bash is a Git client software. So we have the Git here, right? We install the Git here, right? We initialize the project as a Git project here, right? This is what exactly the Git bash here. Okay, you can run the commands like git help. Okay, and it will display you the list of Git commands here. Like clone is a command, init is a command. Now, what is the init here? Create an empty repository or reinitiate an existing one. This is what we done, right? This is what we did. We make the empty project as a normal project as a Git project. And we have the commands here like add command, mv command, restore. You no need to search anything in Google or somewhere, guys. Okay, every command and the introduction of that command we will find from here itself. What is the command here? What is the command here, guys? Git help. Git help. So to work with the Git bash, we should know about the Git command. We should know about the Git commands. We should know about the Git commands. So I just want
Maven, the
to.
class is recording. Sorry for this.
Yes, man.
It's
Okay.
not showing for me the symbol. Okay.
No, it's recording. Okay. To work with the Git bash, we should know about the Git commands. So what are those Git commands? I will list out each and every command here, and we will try to understand what are those commands and the purpose of those commands here. Okay, one by one command I will explain you. At the same time, I will show you practically also here. So first command, what we did here is git help, right? Now what git help will do? Git help will list out all the commands. Will list out all the commands of the git work, git environment. Okay, the first command here is git help. This command helps us in giving the list of, or in help is in displaying the, okay, in displaying the list of git commands, and also gives the, and also explains the each and every command. The next one here is git help. Suppose I want to know about a particular command. For example, git help command name. Now what this command will do? Okay, let's see this one. Open the terminal, git help init. So what I'm doing here, I'm asking the help, hey help me in understanding the init command. Now immediately it is showing me the manual of that particular command. What is git init? It will create an empty git repository. This command creates an empty git repository. Basically, a .git directory with the subdirectories for the objects. Okay, this is what is giving you the description here. So what this command will do, git help command, this will opens a manual of the command name. Okay, this will open a manual of the command name. This will open a manual of the command name and describes that command in detail. Note, don't expect that it will open in a different browser, guys, okay? It will open in your terminal only. Okay, yeah. Understood clearly till now? Anyone have any questions on this one?
No questions.
Right. Now let's understand how to add the files. For example, a developer is developing the code. For example, a developer is working on a Java project. In that case, he need to write the Java code by using a particular file, right? You need to create a file, and based on, on that file, he has to write the code. It means basically we need to work with some files here. So in Linux, how we will work with the files? Okay, we will create the files. We already learned the Linux commands, right? We already completed the Linux, and we completed the assignments, and we completed the mock interviews. Okay, I hope that you all remember all those things. So what is the way how I can create a command in the Linux box? What are the different options I have to create a file in the Linux box?
Cat, nano.
Yeah,
Cat, nano, touch command,
nano is
VI
a
editor, right? Now, so I want to create a file. Okay. touch or nano or vi or cat ampersand. Okay, file name. Okay, using this one, okay, we can create the files. Okay, I will create the files here. Let's understand how I will create the files. If you want to come out, you just press Q. Okay, I will write down that particular point also. To exit from the manual of a command, just press Q. Just press Q. Now you will be coming out of this. Now, okay, I'm going to create the files here. Now, where I am inside the directory here. For what directory? My project is my Git repository or a Git folder here. So now I was inside that particular path, and this is definitely a Git project here. Okay, you can see that it is having the .git here. Okay, good. Now I want to create some files. How to create the files? Okay, I will take the touch command here. What the touch command will do, the touch will allow you to create a new file. Okay, guys, I will conduct one more time the Linux classes. That can be tomorrow or maybe some other day. Whenever I say, you have to attend the class. Okay, don't give me any reasons. Without Linux, you cannot work in the DevOps engine as a DevOps engineer. Remember that. Okay, so touch file 1, file 2. You can create any number of files here. We just type ls. Okay, it is showing me 2 files. So see, in my Git client software or in my Git project, I added 2 files. Now, why we added these files? To work on this particular files. For example, I just want to build some logic from my end. Okay, I will build the logic. After the building the logic, what I should do? I will push the code. Okay, while pushing the code, Git client should know who you are. Git client should know who is pushing the code. I mean, who is pushing the code to where it is pushing the code?
GitHub.
Oh, developer. Developer, okay, fine. But to where he is pushing the code? We should provide the username and the email address of your GitHub account. Okay, so how I should give how I can do that? Okay, let me show you that. I just want to tell my Git client software, hey, this is the person who is doing this job. Okay, for that, we need to use a config command here. Git config ---- global user dot email, and I'm just giving the email here like support. Oh, sorry, it's not like support because I should provide my GitHub email and username. Okay, so Venkata Praveen at gmail.com. Okay, so this is my email ID. Just assume like that. Now enter. So this is what the email ID I'm telling to my Git client. Now Git client understand. Oh, okay, fine. Now who is the username? Git config ---- global user dot name. Oh, what is the username here? Okay, Venkata Praveen. So what is the username here? The username here is this one. Okay? Fine. Okay, and that's it. Now the Git client will understand, okay, who is the user and what is his email ID and everything. Okay? Fine. Now, I want to see the status of my Git project because I added some files here, right? Here I added some files, and I should know, okay, what is the status of my project? Okay, status of my Git client project. Git status. What is the command? Git status. Now, what it is telling here, guys? The files that are in my project are untracked files. Okay, let me add this one. Get two commands here. Okay, two commands. Fine. Git status. Now, what Git status is telling you? It is telling you the status of the files here. It is telling you the status of your files. Why this is important? Because to know the status, to understand the status. Okay, what is this tracked files? Okay, what are these untracked files? Okay, why it is showing in the red color? Means it is telling you that it was unable to understand what are these files. Who is not understanding? Your Git client software is not understanding. Why? Because in Git client software, the files will be in three different stages. The files will be in three different stages. Okay, one is tracked files. The other one is untracked files. Or I can say like this also, staged files, unstaged files, and untracked files. Now you are seeing the files that we added in our Git client software as untracked files. Untracked files means these files are not recognizing. It is not able to understand what are these files. Okay, so let's see this. There are Git status means this will display the information of the files in the Git client as staged, unstaged, and untracked files. Okay, you can call it as staged files, unstaged files, and untracked files. Now, when the files will be in the untracked files. Okay, when the files will be in the untracked files, because here you are seeing the files are in the untracked state, right? So why they are? Because this untracked files, you will see it when you created a new file. This is when we will see this untracked files. You will see this untracked files when these files are newly created. When these files are newly created. When all these files are newly created. Now coming to the unstaged files. The files which are modified but not committed. Those files are called as an untracked files. Now, what about the staged files here? The files which are added for the commit. Those files are the files that will be under the staged files here. Okay. So here you just see this. These are all untracked files. Okay. So to make them track, what I should do, I just used to do with git add command. What is that command? Git add command following the file name. So how many files are available as of now? 2 files are available. In the 2 files, I just want to add only 1 file. Okay. I just do it like this. Git add file. Means you have to mention the file name here. This is one way. But suppose you have 2 files or hundreds of files and you want to commit and you want to add everything here. Okay, then how we can add? So do we need to add each and every file here? No, you don't need to do that. Just use the command git add space dot. What is that? Git add space dot. Okay, so if you run this, now check the status again here. What is this one? Are they untracked or unstaged now? They're ready for the commit now. Now, how you will commit the code? Okay, let me add this point. Git add command. Next one is git commit. So how to commit the code here? Very simple. Git commit. Okay. Check the status here. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Git commit -m code committed by developer1. That's it. Now code was committed. Okay, now the code was committed. Now you see the message here. Okay, git status. Nothing to commit. Everything is clear here. Okay. Everything is clear. Now you made some changes in one of the file. Please observe this carefully. You made some changes in some file. Okay, nano file 1. This is the file 1. Control X, Y, and then enter. Now check the Git status here. Now what is it telling you that? Okay, the code was modified. The code was previously when you created a file, you didn't see this message, right? You didn't get this update. Once there is a file and you make some modifications in that after committing, then you will see that, okay, this file was modified. Oh, come on, you just add it here. Git add dot. Now check the status again here, git status. Okay, now everything is clear. Okay, now commit the code. Git commit -m. Okay. File 1 committed by $1. That's it. Now check the status again here. Now everything is clear, nothing to commit. Okay, so we should commit the code. We have to commit the code. How to commit the code? What is the command here? You can see git commit -m. Your own message. Okay, git add. We can add.
Is it necessary to write down the message, or we can only use the command git commit -m?
No, must and should you have to write the message. Suppose you are working on a module. Okay, Sai is also working on a module. Amurin is working on a module. Okay, and how the team members will know who has completed their modules and what updates they have done, what modifications they have done. If you mention that only, they will understand, right? That's the message that we are passing here. So we should make others also to understand what the work is, what is the update is going on and everything.
So
Okay?
it can be in my language, like, or is there
You
any
can write it.
sequence
No,
to write?
you can write it.
Okay.
But remember one thing, this is the work where the developer will do. Well, we are not the developers, right? But we will work with the GitHub, right? That at least we should know some good knowledge on the GitHub. That's the reason why we are learning all these things. In the interview, they will ask you, if you're having 5 years experience means, or more than 3 years of experience or some experience if you have having, maybe you go through all these challenges, right? They just want to know. You have to explain that. That's the reason why we are learning everything in detail here. Okay? Right.
Okay.
Now, okay, this is what the commit. Once you committed the code, now push the code. To where I should push the code? Okay, sorry. I was in the middle of the git add, right? We can add a single file. Git add file name or git add dot. Git add dot, what it will do? This will add all files. Okay. Now it's time for us to push the code. What is it? Pushing the code means what? Sending the Git client project to the central repository. Sending the whole project to the central repository. Means from the from the client project, from the client environment to the central repository. Okay, we will do this. So how to push the code? Okay, how to push the code here. Okay, we can push the code like this. Git push origin master. What is this one? Git push origin master. Okay, shall we try this one? But remember one thing. Before going to push the code, you need to tell the Git client software to where the code has to be pushed. I mean, we should tell, hey, what is the repository, man, that is available in the Git central repository so that I can push the code there. So I want to create a repository here. So how I can create a repository here? Okay, you will see the repositories. They will find new. Provide the name of the repository here like 9 p.m. batch. And the visibility of the repository is public. Now click on create repository. Whenever you create the repository, you should add your repository to the client software so that the client will understand, okay, this is the place where I should push the code. Copy this one. Enter remote. You can see all the instructions here. Like first one is git init, next one is git add, next one is git commit. Okay, and then next one is the remote. Okay, origin. It is telling you that, okay, this is the repository where we should add it. Okay, add this. Just add this one. Once you added this one, now you try to push the code. So how to push the code? You can push the code by using the git push origin, okay, based on the branch. Okay, I will discuss about the branches later on. Okay, you can see to know which branch we have, on which branch we are working, git branch. Okay, it is telling me that it is a master branch. Okay, now I'm pushing the code git push origin master. Now it is asking me to enter the username. Okay, my username here is Praveen. Okay, this is what the username of my GitHub account. Now just go to the password. Now we need to generate the password here. This is the latest update, sir. Okay. In 2020, 2022, 2023, we don't have the token system. We directly used to add the password of your GitHub account. But now recently they updated that you must and should add the token. So how we should add the tokens here? Very simple. Go to the user profile and then choose the settings here. Go to the settings. There you will find the developer settings. Click on developer settings and then click on personal access token. There you will find two types of tokens. You better go with the token classic. And okay, already I have a token for the student Bufayo. Sayo, just removing this. And I'm going to create a new token here. For that, we need to log in again one more time. Now just confirm that your authentication and then just provide a name here as my token. And here you just take randomly pick up any one of the checkboxes here. One or two boxes. And then just click on generate token. Now the token will be generated and token will be available for 30 days. Okay. You just copy this token. And then you just go here. Please be careful. The password will not be visible. I mean, the password category will not be visible. So be carefully paste that one time. Enter. Now the whole code will be pushed to the central repository here. Okay. Just go here. This is what my Git. Okay, you just refresh this one. That's all. We have the file 1 and file 2 here. This is how you can push the code from the local repository to the central repository here. Understand, guys? Clearly? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
I'm just taking the history here, and I will share that history with you so that it will be easy for you to do the practice also. Okay, so you can see the whole code here. You can also add some files, whatever the files you want to add. Okay, whenever you make some modifications in the central repository, okay, how to clone that project. That and all we will see in the next class. In the next class, we will be going a little bit advanced on this. What is stash? What is branches? What are merges? Okay, what are the merge conflicts? Okay, those things we will discuss in our next class. So I will requesting you all, please do some good practice on these things. Okay, based on your understanding, please prepare your own notes. Okay, why I'm asking you to prepare your own notes. Okay, suppose if you want to prepare your notes, you all people to sit together and prepare one notes. Oh, individually, if you are doing, you want to get some good ideas. But in a group discussion, you people will get a lot of ideas. Okay, and you can do a lot of research also. Just daily. I mean, tomorrow is a Sunday, so you just take in your free time, just take 1.5 hour time and complete this up to this point and prepare a beautiful documentation with screenshots and everything. So that will be useful as a reference for you. Okay, so that's what I will recommend all my student batches and everything. Okay, right. So get practice well. I hope you all enjoyed my session. And you understand very clearly what we have discussed till now on the Git and GitHub. Okay. And hopefully on the next class, we will go deep dive into the Git and GitHub. Okay. Right.
Venkat, I have one more question. Like having Git and GitHub both on Windows is necessary to operate in Linux, like we are working on Linux, right? So is it necessary to both the things should be on Windows as well?
No, I will recommend you to do work with the Linux boxes only. But at the same time, if you know how to install the Git and the Windows also, that it is an understanding, one more advantage, that's it, right? But
we are
mostly,
creating a repository in Windows only. If we are creating here and we are making
see,
something.
I had shown you how to do it in the how to create the repositories in the EC2 instance, right? You
Right.
can do that. Follow that one. You can do it there, you can do it here also. Okay, but remember one thing: if you are pushing the code from the Windows Git client to the central repository, then there is no need of token system here. Okay, directly you can provide the password. Only with the Linux box, the token system is there. For that only, I had shown you the token system. Okay, Priyanka?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I will stop recording the session, guys. Okay.